How's it going, guys? Today I want to show you some of the Criterion and Blu-ray pickups that I picked up in the month of July, as well as some of the Prime Day sales from last week. So let's get started with some of the first few titles here. First up, I picked up Gore Verbinski's The Ring. I remember watching this and thinking, I really enjoyed this. I did see the original. I have to be honest, I can't say I really love the original, but this film, very eerie, very creepy. Something about VHS tapes really just sells the whole deal for this movie. I wasn't expecting this movie to get any 4K transfer or anything, but it was one of those movies I hadn't owned on Blu-ray, and I thought 4K, now's the time to pick this movie up. Next up is a movie that was on sale, and I thought, why the heck not? I had a lot of fun watching this. I even think it's better than the original film, and that is Twisters. It's a fun film. The special effects are great, and the character moments are really good too. I can't say that about the first film. The effects are great, the characters are just unbearable, but luckily we had more tolerable characters in Twisters. I did only pick this up on Blu-ray. It does obviously have a 4K transfer as well, but from what I noticed, the Blu-ray does come with an Atmos track, so not much to really complain about here. I got it for a really cheap price, so I'm glad I own it, because it was one of my favorite like popcorn films from last year. Next up is a film that's long overdue, and when I say long overdue, it means that it was out of print for a good number of years and was insane to try and get, and that was Grave of Fireflies. It finally got a Blu-ray release. Now, Blu-ray release. We can't get 4K releases anymore. I gotta say, for any physical media anime collectors, it's gotta be frustrating to own stuff on 4K because they really cherry pick the heck out of which movies they want on 4K. And it's like, The Boy and the Heron gets a 4K release, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, and it's like so limited titles. And when we have Grave of Fireflies come out after years of waiting, to not get that on 4K, it just feels like, really, what a missed opportunity. But you know, I'm glad I own the movie, and I did pick up the Steelbook. It does come with a standard Blu-ray edition. Next up is a movie I've been sitting on, and it's like, I totally forgot about it, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't own this movie, and that is The Talented Mr. Ripley. It's dirt cheap on Amazon. I think it always has been. I think it got even cheaper during the Prime Day sales, but a fantastic movie. Pretty good Blu-ray transfer. I did check it out, like, it's gotten good reviews for it, so I thought, yeah, am I really gonna wait for a 4K release of this? So for like not even $6, I said, I'm just gonna get this. It is a fantastic movie. Next up is a 4K of Furiosa, the most underappreciated film of last year. I should have owned this movie back in like November, but Amazon had a sale, and the $12 deal that they had it for lasted for like a week, not even. So I missed my opportunity, but now I did pick it up. No slipcover as always, so there's that. But one of my favorite films of last year, and of course I did want to pick that up on 4K. Next up is a Werner Herzog film, and I've been slowly getting into his filmography. I finally watched Rescue Dawn after years of having that sit on my shelf unopened. So having rewatched that and thinking that was a really great movie, I did want to check out some of his other films, which clearly I really enjoyed because I now own Aguirre, The Wrath of God. One heck of a movie. If you are a fan of Apocalypse Now, please do check this movie out. This is in that same realm of just like pure insanity. Klaus Kinski is fantastic in this movie, and I know he was a handful to work with in this movie, but he is an absolute menace in this film. He always is. So do check that movie out, please, if you can. Next up is a blind buy. I don't do blind buys, but it was cheap, and I'm like, I need to watch a more up-to-date Naseratu film that maybe I'll enjoy, because the new one wasn't a big fan of. But again, we're sticking with Herzog, and we're talking about the Nosferatu 70s film. I'm saving this film to see it during my October 31 Days of Horror series on Letterboxd. So fingers crossed, I hope I like this movie. I've been enjoying Herzog as of late, and I feel like even the films that I haven't enjoyed, I have at least appreciated from him. So I hope I get something out of it at least. Now on to Criterion. Every year I go down to Barnes & Noble and I see what they have, and it's always interesting because the collection has gotten smaller, at least in physical stores, that it's always just difficult to find what you want, or you got to go through a bunch of different stores because you are trying to support the stores and not just buy everything on Amazon. And I don't know how many times I've bought stuff on Amazon and either it's gotten lost or it's gotten damaged. And when you're paying like these prices for Criterion, you do want them in as pristine condition, obviously, as possible. So this year, as always, I went with my friend and fellow YouTuber, Chad Saborian, and we, as always, picked out some movies. And if you want to check out that video where we collabed for the Blu-ray haul, I'll make sure to leave that video link down below. But for the films that I picked up, Paris, Texas on 4K, recently dived into Wim Wenders. He's been around for so many years, and I've just, for some reason, have never gotten into any of his films. Perfect Days was the first film of his that I had seen, and I wanted to see something more, and a coworker told me to check out Paris, Texas. And I did, and I thought it was a fantastic movie, a dreamlike adventure with these characters, and it just like, it's a sad movie, but it's also just one of those movies that you can't stop thinking about once you finish watching. And I knew I wanted to rewatch this movie after I finished watching it, and it was earlier this year, but I knew I wanted to own this movie and rewatch it already. Next up is Blood Simple. This is a Coen Brothers film. It's actually their directorial debut, and one heck of one, because I really enjoyed this film. I don't always enjoy their movies. I do like more of their dramatic films, less so much their comedies. Well, of course, The Big Lebowski is the exception, but with a movie like Blood Simple, I didn't really know what I was stepping into, but you know, it's simple, but it's such a great film. Finally did pick this up, and it's also on 4K, so you know, more incentive to pick up these movies. Next up is a film I saw last year as part of the, I think it was the 31 Days of Horror, and that was Demon Pond. One of those movies you step into and you're just like, I have no idea where this is going, but this is one hell of a beautiful film. It's eerie, it's ghostly, it's such a colorful film too. And then the special effects in this movie are really something that I admire because, you know, it's an older movie. They don't let the budget of the film affect the vision that the director had. And it's one of those films that is very cinematic, it's very surreal and ambiguous. And I really like the boldness of this film, and when I finished watching it, I'm like, okay, I know what I watched, but I really need to revisit this movie because there's just some things that went over my head, but I think it's just one heck of an interesting and challenging film that I wanted to revisit it. And, you know, it just coming out on the Criterion Collection a few months ago, I thought, let me pick it up because I already know it's something I'm going to enjoy, and it's going to be better and better with each viewing. And also on 4K, so I don't have to worry about, you know, upgrades. And the last film that I picked up is a film that I've been waiting for a bit. It turns 50 years old this year, and I knew that Criterion was going to do justice with this. So I said, you know what, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to have some patience. And that ended up happening, because this classic is Barry Lyndon, a Stanley Kubrick film. Of course, most people know Stanley Kubrick for, of course, 2001: A Space Odyssey and The Shining. I don't think Barry Lyndon gets enough attention as it does, but it's one heck of a beautiful film. It is a long movie, it's 3 hours long, but it's just a fascinating story to watch how this man rises to nobility and how it leads to his downfall. And it's a tragic film that's got some incredible performances, really great music, incredible cinematography and editing. It's set in the 18th century. It's very laid back and relaxed, and I know why some people might not enjoy it, but I thought that this was an incredible look into that time period, giving us this perspective that we often don't get, especially from characters like these. Like, obviously with the story, you know, the character is not very likable, but the movie does try to humanize him and give us this perspective on his life and his mistakes. And I thought it was a beautiful film to watch. Now get to own it on 4K, which is really great. And it's got some fantastic packaging, and I look forward to opening it and hoping it's not the packaging of Citizen Kane, because that is one hell of a terrible release in terms of its packaging. But that is all of the movies I picked up as part of the Criterion sale, as well as the Amazon Prime Day deals. I'd be curious to check out some of the films that you picked up during these sales. Please do comment them down below in the comments section. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up down below and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already to stay on top of all the content that comes out on this channel. And as always, I will see you guys in a later video.